For more on this, let's bring in Edwin McRae, who's a narrative designer in the games industry and teaches at Otago Polytech. Hi Edwin, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Well, parents like me have spent a lot of time telling our kids to get off devices. Was I wrong? Should I be telling them to go right ahead?
Well, I mean, everything in moderation. There's a healthy amount of gaming. There's an unhealthy amount of gaming. But yeah, I can safely say that within the healthy boundaries, it can actually be really constructive to be playing video games, especially a wide range of video games. So that if say your children are interested in getting into game development, so that they understand, I guess, the full range of what's possible in the games industry space, as opposed to say, just the AAA highlights, as it were.
Okay, how has interest in these types of courses changed over the past 5 to 10 years?
Massively, actually, and that's been a direct response of the huge growth and the specifically the New Zealand games industry, but just in the international games industry as well. So there's just been more and more demand for well-trained graduates to join game development studios, and there are so many more studios than there were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I mean, 10 years ago there were only, I think back, that's roughly when I started in the games industry. And remember,
it's not just video games, is it? Well, how big is this industry and what kind of scope does it cover? Just in case I'm thinking about doing accountancy, talk me into this industry.
Yeah, well, it branches into augmented reality, virtual reality. There's a lot of talk, of course, from about the metaverse at the moment, about virtual spaces. All of these areas are growing, and cinema is using video game technology more and more, particularly game engines like Unreal, to create virtual settings for movies. And to even shoot films inside of virtually created worlds. So yeah, I guess all of the different kind of mediums are starting to blend together and kind of learn from each other.
And you have done quite a lot of work in this field. Just quickly, what's one thing you're most proud of?
Probably it was still one of my earliest games, Path of Exile, that picked up a BAFTA for one of the best developing games, and just the kind of the depth of a game, of being able to build an entire virtual world, is really satisfying. So,
okay, I'm going to head home and have a game of Fortnite. Edwin, thanks very much for your time tonight.
Cool. Thanks for having me.